Previously on Chosen Ones. After taking a brief break, Wynn comes and gathers the sparks to finish off finals with Libris's, leading them all to the pond where they are instructed to perform their secrets in order to summon the god Nather. After completing this test, the mentors decide to take the week off to decide who they will train. Peter tests our 4 sparks for signs of the moss, finding Brandy to still have traces, and telling him to continue to take God's liquor. Brandy catches Peter drinking what appears to be God's brandy on his way out, but keeps this information to himself. As the 4 go to sleep, Brandy checks in with Theo to tell him he has no plans on taking Avayath up on his offer to adventure, if Theo won't come with. The next morning, the group receives a note from Arthur about a meeting held by Estel to tell the rest of the compound about the moss. And after a brief talk, they decide to go.
Break me down, we keep fracturing, so you'll forget your place and never find grief. Fly me away before the clouds are paid, so we will lose our wings within the storm. Breathe me in, take what's left of me. I lose my mind to fate, I cannot disgrace my hidden heart. Erase your belief, I will destroy what's left and run away. Get with the tune, harmony, the shadow in this sea. Come to the page, the curtains rising soon.
So the day passes up until the point that Estel was gathering everyone for the meeting, and you all go to the library where you see all of the sparks currently there, and she's there as well as Arthur currently, and she looks to be quite annoyed, and Arthur's standing next to her and is just like, "It's the right thing to do, Estel," and she's just like waiting for everyone to gather.
Avayath gathers very loudly.
Estel kind of looks around to all of you and all the sparks, and Drug is just like, "I thought we were done with training. I thought we were taking a break." She kind of looks towards her and is just like, "Yes, we are doing a meeting that we have been pushing off for a while, and we have determined now that everyone here is trustworthy enough to share this information with, so we are going to share it." And you can see she is gritting her teeth as she's clearly does not want to. And Arthur clears his throat at one point she's like, "Yep, I know." And is trying specifically not to look at the 4 of you as she looks out towards everyone, and it's just like, "I was informed some of you were already told about this, so it shouldn't come to a surprise to absolutely everyone. We established this program initially years ago, decades ago at this point, before the Prime War, during the slaughter of the Sparks, because we wanted to create a place that would be safe for Sparks to train and learn about themselves and how to protect themselves and be chosen ones to prevent the spread of more fallen ones in the future. And we are doing a similar thing now, although not to the same extent. Before, it was very clearly a massacre when the slaughter of the Sparks happened. Very targeted, very methodical. It happened over the course of time, but also a lot of people died very quickly. It didn't seem that the world was able to make sparks fast enough for us to be able to find them a lot of the time. And it fell through during the war, and the killing stopped once Peter became a chosen one. So we dropped it for a while, and then recently, in the past few years, something else has started up that is concerning. We've been calling it a sickness, but not exactly the right word, I would say. There is a substance we have dubbed the Black Moss that seems to only be targeting chosen ones. And sparks can start off very small. It doesn't appear to be contagious. We've all been in contact with people who have had it. It does not seem to spread between people. And and we're trying to currently find the link between why it is appearing on people and where it has come from. And that is what killed Merlin. And she's kind of just looking around at everyone. And the tone definitely has gotten a lot quieter at this. And you hear Essen speak up and be like, why the hell did you not tell us any of this sooner? Isn't this a danger to have this many sparks in one area if people are, like, targeting us or something? And Estel's like, as far as we are aware, this does not appear to be a target. It seems to be, like we said, a sickness. So you're gonna drag a bunch of people together who might all have it and we might spread it to each other. You said you don't think it's contagious, but then how the hell are people catching it? And Estel's like, we don't know. We're trying to figure that out. Cases are isolated and small and spread all throughout the country. We don't know.
You said it targets chosen ones?
Chosen ones, anyone with a spark. Chosen ones and sparks and ex-chosen ones all still have a spark. So...
Gotcha.
Specifically sparks, not necessarily specifically chosen ones, although Merlin is the only active chosen one, obviously, who's had the chance to catch it.
Have you seen anybody else with it yet? Other than Merlin?
There have been a few isolated cases, and she pauses a little bit and bites her lip. And they've all passed, so... Our only link that we can currently find is they all appear to be people who traveled a lot, which unfortunately does not lead us to a conclusion about where it is coming from.
I see. Good question might be...
Kind of like looks over at Arthur.
In your lab there,
Yes.
The moss that you had in a container seemed to be drawn towards me. Is it like a creature?
He looks to Estel at that, and you see her just pale, face forward, kind of blanking out, and he's just like, we've tried communicating with it, and as far as I can tell, we haven't been able to. Glances at Estel again, and she's still tight-lipped, not talking.
You got something to say, Estel?
What? And she looks towards you.
The substance. You call it a substance, but Arthur mentioned it having a mind of its own.
She seems to kind of start to blank out again.
Hey,
What?
are you not listening?
No, I am. What were you saying?
The substance.
She kind of, again, starts to blank out a little bit, and Arthur, like, hits her a little bit. She's like, what?
What the fuck is happening?
He looks towards you a little bit, and he's just like, something we probably talked about.
Alright.
And he kind of makes a gesture towards his head and just like information gone, essentially.
You just blank out whenever you try to recall information about this thing?
She's kind of looking at you and she's like, blank out for what? What?
Whenever you talk about it, it seems like you blank out.
Oh, just a lot of thoughts.
You want to share them?
Tight-lipped smile.
I think everybody here has a right to know.
She seems like she's trying very hard to concentrate. I attempted to communicate with it at one point. It did not go well.
How so?
Again, seems like she's struggling. She's like, don't know. Best way I can describe is a bit of an overload.
I see. You still feeling those effects then? Even now?
And you can see her hands kind of shaking a little bit, and she's like, a bit, yes.
That's concerning.
Would prefer not to try that again. And she's looking at Arthur, and he's just like, I told you could stop. We stopped, right? We stopped. And she's just like, mm-hmm. Esther looks towards everyone, and she's just like, the last thing Merlin did before she caught it was she went to go visit the Black Forest after Abergrim was defeated 2 years ago. She gestures towards Avayath. She continued on her travels. She didn't, as far as we know, communicate with any of us. That was the last big mission that she went on, and the next time we saw her, she had this, but the others who have caught it do not appear to have ever visited the Black Forest, so that connection is hard to make.
Do you know if they all had... Brandy hesitates. Had some sort of contact with this Abergrim?
As far as I know, he is... She pauses a moment. Not able to get to anyone right now.
Well, that's not what I'm asking. Do you know if the others had contacted this being in some way?
I don't think that's possible, no.
You don't think it's possible, but you don't know?
I know it's not possible.
Insight check.
Go for it.
That sounds like bullshit. 9.
She appears to be telling the truth.
Kind of like squints.
Well,
I have kept very close tabs on Abergrim's movements over the years.
it might not just be physical contact, though.
She nods to that, and she's like, I still don't think that's it.
Well, I'm trying to find any through line here.
If that's the case, she gestures towards Avayath, and it's just like, when you defeated him, should have rubbed off on you, right?
Nope, I am immune to disease.
Well,
This is a very special case. This is something that is what makes it very, very concerning for us, is Wynn's abilities, as far as we are aware, are able to cancel out any magic by touch. Now that he's no longer the chosen one, he doesn't have a range for it, but by touch at least he's able to separate magical bonds for a period of time. This is definitely some sort of magical sickness, but touching victims did not affect it.
Uh-oh.
There is a little catch to Wynn's ability, even when he was the chosen one, which makes us believe that this might possibly be some sort of attack again, like the sparks, like the slaughter of the sparks. Wynn's ability is not able to cancel out other sparks.
so you think it might be a spark, then?
Something this powerful, we are very worried, because Merlin was a chosen one. She was the chosen one, and it killed her. And if this is how powerful someone is without being a chosen one, it's very concerning.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And that is all we know. She looks so tired. Oh, few other things. We did find Merlin's body floating in mirror depths, covered in moss. We tried speak with dead, didn't work. We tried resurrection spells, didn't work. So we burned her body because there was still quite a bit of moss on it.
Here's a question. What the fuck is mirror depths?
Mirror depths is I've mentioned it a few times. It is a giant lake that's in the middle of, it's one of several giant lakes, but let me look at here, I'll pull you onto the map actually real fast so you can see it. It's right here. That's mirror depths. So Esther's just like, that is it. That is everything that we know.
Any suspects that you think could have a spark like that?
I assume it's whoever was a part of the group before. I don't know why they stopped for so many years, but...
And no one was ever found.
Nope, they were never caught. It just stopped one day. But again, the attacks were targeted. They were all over.
I mean, it could be someone in the same group. It could be the same person who maybe has a spark that's able to target people like that, and it's evolved into something else. We don't know.
Here's a question. How does everybody in the room look while these groups are being mentioned?
You can roll an insight check, just a general insight check.
Sure. Natural 20, 22, baby!
So Draga looks, concerned, obviously worried about all that's going on in this. Riddle also looks concerned. Titus, you notice, looks very uncomfortable at the mention of mirror depths. Essence seems to have mixed emotions over the course of this conversation.
With that in mind, he will ask, he will posit, is there any chance that someone here could be a part of said group?
She looks at you and then looks to Arthur and says, Arthur did his assessment. I wanted to wait until that was over to have the conversation with everyone. He believes after assessing everyone that there isn't a chance that we have a spy in our ranks.
How does everybody else look when he says that, though?
With your nat 20, I would say...
Avayath starts sweating profusely.
The spy! I'd kill him.
I was a villain the whole time.
I did it!
Titus still looks pretty uncomfortable.
Not my friend. He's my friend. I don't believe he's actually a spy. I think he's just awkward.
Interesting. Gotcha.
Maybe he knows somebody who was like that. Or maybe he's been following Theo because Theo becomes a fallen one in a different timeline. He's like, I have to make sure Theo doesn't become a fallen one this time. I've been following him throughout.
I have to give him true love's first kiss. No, I'm just kidding. To break the spell.
It's Brandy that brings him down the wrong path.
Titus is like, you don't want the bad timeline, right? Then you gotta get with me, not him.
God, kiss me. God.
Oh my god.
What a fucking creep. What have you done? Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yes, and she kind of looks around at everyone and is just like, that is all. You have the rest of the week to yourselves before we continue training. I hope with this knowledge moving forward you understand why we're trying to do what we're doing here. And we will continue with the tests every week to see if anyone else has any sort of issues with it. Everyone who has been given medicine, please continue to take it.
Theo will sort of stand up, because I assumed they were sitting in chairs.
Yeah.
And he'll just kind of nod to them and be like, now that your intentions are more fully out in the open, I thank you for the measures that you've all been trying to take for everyone's safety. Sorry for being so suspicious of you, but I'm sure you understand, and just thank you.
It's fine. And she kind of looks at you. We were suspicious of all of you too, so I had to make sure.
Right. Well, the worry for everyone's safety is appreciated.
Of course.
Ooh. Sits back down.
And she looks towards everyone and she's like, okay, you are all dismissed.
And then leaves.
As people start moving and shuffling and stuff, Shui wakes up.
Oh no.
Sure, the meeting's over. It's time to go.
Oh, right. He says, and feels only the slightest bit of guilt as he slept through the explanation, but whatever.
Like, I would feel more guilty if you were more interesting.
Essence stays behind as you all go to leave.
Oh?
Yeah.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Brandy can stay behind and sneak on them.
I was literally about to say, I want to hold ear to door.
I also want to hold ear to door.
Theo just leaves.
Theo does not leave. He would not leave without Brandy. Stop playing, Shayna.
I know, but I'm just... I'm trying not to be that bitch.
It's because Avayath was like, if she needs help, then you should help her. And so he's like,
So you stay and are like listening against the door. And you hear Essence on the other side say, I don't want to take any more of it. I'm done. I don't want to take any more of it. And Estel's just like, we prescribed you a dosage for a reason, and it's important that you take it. I don't like it. I don't like how it makes me feel or act, and I want to stop taking it. The brandy is more difficult, we understand, but you can move on to the liquor afterwards. We had to start you with a higher dosage. And Essence, you can hear, is just like, ugh. This is stupid. And she makes her way over towards the door, you can hear.
Oh, runs, walks away. Doesn't run, but like pretends to be walking casually.
Okay.
Theo's already way ahead of them.
Both of you, because I don't think you can move fast enough where she's not going to see you, but roll deception checks so to see if she can catch that you were spying.
Roll deception.
Up to you. You can roll stealth if you with disadvantage if you want to try and get away fast enough, or you can roll deception straight.
Ooh, 17.
I guess I'll do deception. 17.
You see her eyes look towards both of you as she comes out, frowning, but she doesn't say anything to you. She keeps walking. She did very clearly catch you, though.
Shui's kind of like looking out after her. I mean, he doesn't really know what to say, but he kind of looks to Brandy with like a worried expression on his face because, you know, he's been there. I didn't know she had the moss.
Yeah, that's concerning.
How did the brandy make you feel?
Not much different, to be honest. I mean, I was a little more easily upset, but like, not a ton different, no.
You would note you were more aggressive during your training.
I mean, yeah. Other than that, he's like,
Yeah, I mean, other than a couple brief instances, like, there wasn't much of a difference.
She's kind of thinking, and like, maybe that's why she's such a bitch. No. He is kind of filing that information away in his peanut brain. Other than that, he's just like, we should go catch up with Theo and Yaya.
Alright.
And he starts to scuttle laughter.
Alright, was there anything you guys wanted to do before I move on?
What do we do in the week, huh?
Well, there's something that has to happen tonight. So, today, if there's anything you're doing.
Once they're all in the cabin of Avayath, we'll say to Shui, let's go train and leave Theo and Brandy here alone together.
does he say it just like that?
Sure.
She was like, what? Why?
We have training to do. Winks at Shui.
Oh, okay.
Are you still...
He's like, oh, okay, wink, but he doesn't really get what's going on.
Are y'all really still on this shit?
Have fun, you two. Leaves.
For Christ's sake.
So they leave, and she's like, hey, what was that about?
These bitches gay.
I overheard Theo say that he had feelings for Brandy during our little secret sharing exercise for Libris.
What? You hear, like,
I
Shui
heard
shout
that.
from outside.
We shouldn't find them. Let's actually go train.
Shui follows. He's like, did you really? He's like, I knew it.
I totally heard it. He definitely said that.
Shui's kind of chuckling. And he's like, do you think Brandy feels the same way?
I get the feeling he does. He gets so angry whenever I bring this up.
Right, they go off the train. They go off to train.
They go off. Any interactions with Theo and Brandy after that?
It's up to Shayna.
That was strange, but Theo doesn't really see anything in it. So They'll hang out.
Bros being bros.
They're 5 feet apart because they're not gay. But yeah, I'll probably talk. Probably discuss. Probably what Brandy said about the adventuring thing. Theo's just kind of probably talking about how he back at the farm. He kind of just went back there. It's not like he dislikes his aunt and uncle. It's just that he's been there a long time and. He may have gone off for college for a while, but he's like, there's nothing much left for me there, so.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I might take Avayath up on the offer for, I don't know, venturing together, if you wanted to.
I mean, I'm certainly not opposed. I think it would be a nice change of pace.
Yeah. After all this, it'd be fun to go out and do stuff, I guess.
Yeah, nice to go and see everything, I think.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'd find something for us to do, some sort of heroic deeds to carry out.
Yeah, I'm sure he has a whole plan for something like that. For his little posse of heroes.
Yeah. So they have this really awkward talk, I guess. For like the whole time that
Avayath want to do this, but I felt tempted to have Avayath burst in and be like, "You guys having fun, darlings?" But no.
Oh my gosh.
God. He's so annoying.
Andy would fucking fight you.
I will say with that, time has passed, and you guys gather back to go to sleep for the evening.
Okay. You're kind of, so that's how you know that the thing that's supposed to happen tonight is a bad thing. Because we're going to bed and it's going to happen.
Place your bets
Yeah.
as to who is going to be affected.
This jabber's about to fucking be in our room.
No. Don't say that.
So you guys all go to sleep,
And Brandy wakes up. And Shui
watch.
stays fast
I'm
asleep.
fucking waiting for it.
and Shui, you wake up.
Stop. Stop. No, wait. You're joking.
Your turn, bitch.
Are you for real? Wait, are you serious?
Shui wakes up. You wake up, though, back in that dark, black void, essentially, with nothing around you again. But after surveying the area for a few seconds, you see a figure, kind of a pure white figure, laying down on that rippling water that you are on top of, kind of in the distance.
Hello?
You see them perk up, kind of in the distance, raising their head. And you can see now that they're leaning up a little bit, the silhouette of like a rabbit head in the distance.
Can you hear me?
Head turns towards you. They're still very far away.
He's gonna start walking forward towards that figure. He's like, where am I?
As you do, that humming gets louder, but it does not appear to be coming from this figure.
Where does it appear to be coming from then?
Underneath you.
As the humming gets louder, he like closes his eyes as he realizes it's coming from below it. Because like last time he looked down, there were like some big ass eyes.
Yeah.
looking at him. So, he takes a breath and he's gonna look down.
You see eyes staring up at you.
He's like, ah.
Very big eyes just staring upwards.
She's like, I'm sorry. He's like hopping, like trying to, I don't know, get off the pupil.
Yeah, as you get closer, you see now Winona, but she looks different than she did before the last time you saw her. Now, instead of the orange dress and the red head, she has a pure white head and white dress and is staring at you with her head cocked a little bit.
Who are you?
Shui says, me? I'm Shui.
Shui, why are you here?
Looks around. He's like, I don't know.
And you see her kind of turn her head back downwards towards those eyes, which are kind of still blankly looking around. And she's looking down at that too, and she's just like,
Do you know who this is?
I can't remember. Does he know?
last time you were here, she said that's one of my mothers.
One up. We know that the cow is her mom too, right? Dara.
You know the cow is, yes.
He is kind of looking a little bit confused, and he's just like, You told me that was one of your mothers.
I have a mother.
Everyone has a mother, right?
Do they? Who's everyone?
He is kind of quiet, and he's just like, do you really not know?
She cocks her head a little bit at you, and you see her kind of slowly sit back down.
No. There's this voice that keeps singing. And that's all I hear.
She thinks for a bit. Everyone is, well, people like me and you. Except there's a bunch more. And
Those are the voices I keep hearing.
he thinks something other than this humming.
I hear a lot of voices.
And then Shui nods his head like, yep. He's like, I think that might be everyone.
They're saying things to me.
Lately, I've been hearing a lot of voices too.
Do they ask you for things?
Not really, no.
Oh.
What do they ask you for?
She's looking down at the eyes that are still staring up at her. And she's like,
All sorts of things. I hear people ask me for a bountiful harvest or a wonderful year, a good marriage, lots of children. Just a lot of people asking me for things. Especially today. Lots of people asking me.
That sounds hard.
Is it hard? I can't answer them.
I think that's why it's hard. Because they sound like wishes.
Wishes?
They must want you to make them come true.
Why would I do that?
Shui kind of puts his hands on his hip. And he's like, because you're a god, right?
What?
A god. Someone... He trails off. And he's like, I don't really know how to explain a god. Someone super important who... He kind of trails off. And he's like, I don't think I know either. You should ask Yaya. He would know.
Who's Yaya?
My friend, he says, and he smiles.
Friend.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anyone else here before. Does that make you special? Are you a god?
She blinks. And he's like, me? No, I don't think I'm a god.
Oh. Can you come here whenever you want?
I don't know, he says. I've been here one time before.
Can you leave whenever you want?
I don't think I can. But I know that tonight was supposed to be special for a lot of people. It's a full moon.
Oh, I know what that is. That's what I'm in. The moon.
We're in the moon? He says, looking around.
Yes.
This is what the moon looks like?
On the inside, yes. Love to know what it looks like on the outside.
She says, on the outside, it's all white and bumpy. And he is like thinking really hard. And I think some people say that it reflects the sun's light, but...
The sun.
You see her look back down at that.
What's wrong?
The light that comes through comes from the one humming beneath.
She looks down.
I think they're trying to find me.
She's like, do you know what they want with you?
No,
Are you afraid?
I don't know.
Looking at these eyes, I don't suppose she would be able to tell, like, whether...
They just look like they're looking around everywhere, and Winona is just kind of sitting right in between them.
They're the only other one here, but they're not here. They're on the other side.
You see her kind of like lean down and place her like face against the rippling water, and she's just like,
They sound so sad.
Do you think she misses you?
Who?
He points to the set of eyes in there. He's like, if they're looking so desperately for you, then that must mean they miss you, right?
Maybe. I don't know who they are, though. I don't know who I am, though.
You're Winona, right?
Winona?
He nods. Yeah, she's a moon spirit. Like, what's her official title?
she is known as either Winona the Moon Spirit or the Rabbit in the Moon.
Okay. You're known as the Moon Spirit. And a lot of people everywhere, they look up to you.
Because I'm in the sky.
He thinks about that and he's like, yeah, you... He trails off. You're like the light in the sky when it's dark.
I don't think that's me. I think that's her.
And she looks down at the eyes again.
Looks at the eyes again.
Still looking around. Humming seems to be getting louder.
She's like, have you tried talking to her?
She can't hear me, I don't think.
And then Shui, like, you know, cups his mouth. Hands around his mouth. And he goes like, hey, can you hear me? Hello?
No response. But you see her turn her head back towards you. And she lets out, like, the first sign besides just, like, this very stoic demeanor she has. She kind of laughs a little bit at you.
You're funny.
Funny?
I just said that I don't think she can hear us and you shouted at her.
He says as he's, like, scratching, like, the back of his head. I thought if I shouted loud enough that she might hear me.
Good idea.
Nothing happens. I'm actually trying.
Hello! She's shouting with her.
Yeah, the eyes still just keep looking around, but she kind of tosses her head back and laughs a little bit at that. And then she looks over towards you again.
Could you come visit me again sometime?
She was laughing with her, I think. And then when she says that, he was like, I'd love to. I just have to figure out how I can do that.
Oh, right, you can't decide.
Nope. I think the last time I came here was during a full moon, too.
Oh, you've been here before?
You don't remember?
No.
You didn't look different the last time I was here.
I've always looked like this.
Huh. Maybe I'm misremembering. It felt like a dream.
A dream.
He nods his head.
Do you know if I could come with you?
Have you ever tried to leave here before?
I don't know if I have. I don't remember being outside.
Huh. Well, we could try, maybe.
She kind of gets back up and starts to walk towards you.
What did you do when you left last time?
I opened my eyes, I think. But, here, he says, and he's gonna take her hand, or offer his hand for her to take.
She reaches out very slowly and takes your hand. She feels very cold.
If we're holding hands like this, maybe when I wake up, you'll be able to come with me.
That would be nice.
You feel cold.
You feel warm.
Huh.
And she's kind of looking at you, and then she cocks her head a little bit.
Can I give you a hug?
A hug?
A hug, yes.
Sure, he says, and smiles.
And she very quickly just kind of leans forward and grabs you in a very big hug.
Aww. Shui hugs her back.
And as you do, you kind of see like the lights start to reach up out of the below you as like the black abyss you are in just suddenly turns bright white, and she kind of releases you, cocks her head a little bit.
Thank you.
Shui's looking around. When she let go, did the light dim at all? Like, did it change?
No, it's still very bright underneath you.
Shui's like, whoa, what's happening?
The morning's coming. Look here. This is my favorite part.
And she points downward.
Shui looks down.
You look down and you see just kind of like these big clouds start to roll over underneath you as the black surface that is now white begins to kind of become see-through, and you can just see down this globe below you with all of these different pieces, these big masses of land and rolling waters directly below you, filling this entire planet that you've never seen before. Any map that you've ever seen in your life has only ever encompassed your country.
Shui is like face to the ground. He's like, whoa!
It's nice, isn't it?
He's like, what is this?
It's the world you live on, I think.
It's the world?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was flat. No, I'm kidding.
And then she punts you. No.
Yeah, he's like, the world? And he's like, it's beautiful.
It is. I'd like to go down there sometime.
Oh, right. Your hand.
Do you take it again?
He's gonna try to.
Okay, yeah. You take it, and as you do, you see her kind of cock her head a little bit at that again too. Very slowly, you see her kind of start to like reach up, and it looks like she's taking off that head that she's wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And as she does so, you see kind of like that brightness start to fill the room a little bit, and it just gets to be blinding white, and for a second you see very bright blue eyes staring out at you, but it's so bright you can't make out anything in this light before you wake up.
How does he wake up?
In your bed. No one else is with you.
She's like, hello? Are you here?
Nothing.
And he's kind of bummed out because he wanted to take her with him. But I mean, there was no guarantee it was going to work anyway, so, you know. But he kind of mutters like under his breath, sorry, didn't work.
I'm here crying out for you, so you'll find me at last and wipe away our past. Even now, falling towards something beyond this new script. The show starts with us.